should I say. Ahoy, my most amazing artists, because this is Pirate Week. All week long, we are going to be making amazing pirate-themed works of art, starting with today, our wanted pirate posters. But before we get started, I have a special guest who I would like to introduce you to. Let me go and grab him. And now, to tell us what supplies we'll be using today, allow me to introduce you to Alligator. Hello, my most delicious artist. Delicious? Allie, we're making artwork with the friends out there today. We're not eating them. Bummer. Why don't you go ahead and tell us the supplies they're going to need today to make sure that they have everything to make their wanted pirate poster. You will need a large piece of paper, a small piece of paper, maybe some crayons, markers, a pencil, glue, and your imagination to make artwork that I can really sink my teeth into. Sink your teeth into again. We're not eating anything. We're making artwork today. Again. Bummer. Well, Allie, thank you so much for telling us exactly what it is that we're gonna need. I appreciate it. And if you just give me a second, boys and girls, I'm gonna put Allie down. Thank you. Ow! All right, guys, let's talk about how you can make your very own wanted pirate poster. All I'm using is paper, crayons, marker, and a big piece of construction paper that can be recycled. You can see I don't have a lot of paper on hand, so I'm just reusing what I've got. When you make your pirate today, there's so many different ways you can draw your pirate. You could draw yourself as a pirate. You could draw someone else. You could be wearing a bandana, a pirate's hat, maybe a combination of both. An eye patch, you could have a parrot on your shoulder. The possibilities are endless. So I'm actually going to be drawing two different kinds of pirates. One here and one here. And I'll be telling you the differences between the two. That way you can decide how you want to make your pirate portrait. All right, I'm gonna begin with a marker. You might wanna draw with a pencil and then trace over your marker lines later, or you can just go ahead and take your chances and draw with a marker. If you draw something you don't like, then you know that you can always just keep trying. Make it work. I'm looking for the middle of my piece of paper here. Starting with the middle of my paper, I got my finger where the middle is. I'm going to make a diagonal line. That diagonal line will be for the eyelid. And if I slant that diagonal line down like that, then my eyelid is angled down and it looks a little bit angry. To finish that eyelid, I'm going to draw a curved line. A line that goes from one side of the diagonal to the other side of the diagonal. I'm actually going to do the same thing here, but if I don't want the eye to look as angry, then maybe my diagonal isn't quite as slanted. Diagonal line and a curved line right there. Piece of cake. Next step, I'm going to add a pupil so my pirate can see. And if I wanted to add a little bit of a highlight in the eye, I could draw another circle. What I like to do is then color in the background. You could do that now, or you could wait and do it when you're using a marker. If you're using a marker now, then go ahead and color it in. If you want to, on this one, maybe it's got two reflections in the eye, and I'll just color in behind that. Now, I'm going to make another eye over here. I'm leaving a little space between the two. I'm going to try to draw a mirror version of this eye. So my diagonal line is now going this way. And so far, it will be kind of symmetrical, or as symmetrical as I can get these two eyes to be. Now this pirate's going to have two eyes. My other pirate is actually going to have an eye patch. I'm speeding up a little bit because I'm repeating the same steps as here. Notice that my two eyes are not exactly the same, and that is okay. Kind of makes his face looks like it's turned or angled a little bit. On this one, I'm going to draw another diagonal line, but to create an eye patch, I'm going to make a letter U that comes down. So it's a bigger curve than that one. And if you want to, you can go ahead and you can color that in, or you can wait until you're using your crayons or your markers. All right, now that I've got that finished, let's talk about how to add the rest of the face. I'm going to give this pirate a mustache and then a beard. So I'm going to draw a circly, ovally kind of line for the nose. If you know a different kind of nose that you want to draw, I say go for it. If I'm making a mustache on this one, I'm going to draw 2 lines that come away from the oval like that. On this one, it's going to be a happy kind of face pirate, one that's a little sneaky. She's going to have a sneaky little smile on her face. Okay, and now I'm going to connect this line to that line. So I'm going to make kind of like a ziggity-zaggity, kind of a ziggity-zaggity line like that. Maybe on this one, I'm starting on this end. I'm going down, I'm going over, I'm going back up. All right, now what I think I'll do is create the mouth on this one. It's almost like the letter U. Every time I make this mouth, I always think that this looks like a cupcake with a cherry on top. So to make it not look like that, I'm going to put a bump and a bump so that now it looks like his mouth is open and that's his tongue. If you wanted to, you could color this part in. I'm just going to leave it for now. I'll color with my crayons later. I'm going to add some teeth on this one. She's going to have like little square SpongeBob teeth. I could always add a tongue inside of there too. Okay, now I'm going to add the beard on this pirate. It's going to have a line that comes away, starting right next to that mustache, and another line that comes away. Now I'm going to connect these 2 lines with a wild and wacky zigzag line, something that looks like a guy who's been out to sea for a while and has not done a very good job of grooming his beard. So it's a wild and wacky zigzaggy line for a beard. I think on this one, I will draw a line here, a line there, and a line for her chinny chin. Once that's done, I will connect, and I will connect. There we go. Okay, on this one, I think I'll add the sides of his face, maybe his ears. I'll give her some ears too. Notice I'm using a curve. It almost looks like a letter C. If I'm going too fast, you can just pause and then catch up with me. If you want to add some earrings to your pirate, you can. You don't have to. This is your pirate. You get to draw it any way you want to. There is no rules or right or wrong answers in art. There's only your answers. So you do whatever you want. All right, I just made a curved line that connected these 2. Now I get to draw the eyebrows. Those are really going to show how your pirate is feeling. I'm gonna give this pirate a little scar across his eye when he got into a sword fight or maybe had a bad accident with an alligator. I'm gonna come down and do another little ziggity-zag line there. I'm actually repeating similar steps over here. Notice that I'm giving them a short forehead, and I'll show you why in just a moment. But my line didn't go up very high. It almost went from one side to the other. Give her an eyebrow. Let's go ahead and connect the eye patch too with a couple of lines there and a couple of lines there. Now, if there's other ways that you want to draw your pirate, you can totally do that. Draw it whatever way you want to. Now, on this pirate, I'm going to give him a pirate's hat, but first, I'll draw a little bandana. I'm drawing 2 lines that go up, then I will connect those 2 lines just like that. And now what I think I'll do is show where the bandana has been tied. And you could add a pattern or a design, stripes, polka dots, hearts, something for your pirate's bandana. Maybe on this pirate, she's wearing a bandana on her whole head. So she's not going to be wearing a pirate's hat. So she has a line that went up, over, and down. Maybe her bandana is striped. I'll add that same little knot so we can show how it's tied to her head right there. Now for the pirate's hat, I could go out. I don't have a lot of room left, so I'm just making those lines kind of short. Maybe you have a lot of room. Maybe you're like me and you don't have a lot of room left. That's okay. That line that I just drew is a little tricky, so I'll go over it one more time with my finger. It went up, and then over, and then up. It's like a really good roller coaster, and then down, and then down. And I always like to draw another repeating line, a parallel line that does the same thing. I don't have a lot of room for a skull and crossbones, but if you want to try it, I almost drew a whole circle, couple of ovals, a little upside down heart, bottom of a square, close it, boop, boop. All right, now this guy can be finished pretty quickly. I'm just going to go over and over for the shoulders, straight down from the beard, and a couple of buttons. So on this one, maybe I will give her a neck, or him. This could be a boy too. If you wanted to add a different kind of hairstyle, it's up to you. Starting here, this is the base or the bottom of the neck. I'm gonna go all the way to the edge. Same thing over here, all the way to the edge. And then I like to add stripes to the shirt because it looks kind of piratey, right? Don't you think? All right, now when it comes to hair, you could draw any kind of hair you wanted to. You could even throw a couple of braids in there. Maybe her hair has braids and some beads. It's up to you. You can make your pirate any way you want to. Now that my pirate portraits are finished, I think I'll work on coloring. Check out how fast I can color my pirate, guys. Just kidding. This is a little thing called a time lapse. I've sped up the video so you could see how I'm using a variety of colors and value to fill in my pirate, the outfit, and the background. Now that my pirate's complete, I'm going to flip it over and just add a little bit of glue, just a dot, not a lot, to the back. And I'm only putting glue around the edges. I don't need any glue in the middle as long as I have glue around the edges. All right, I'm gonna flip this over, give it a little massage. Oh, pirate like it. I'm gonna go ahead and leave it a little bit crooked because I want it to look that way. And remember, you need to hold your paper down long enough to give your glue enough, what is it called again? Grab time. Now you could use a marker to write on your poster. You could use a crayon, which is what I'm going to do. It's up to you. I'm going to write the word wanted at the top. And what I like to do is sometimes write my words with a pencil first so that I know I have enough room for all the words or all the letters in the word that I'm trying to write. Wanted. That means people are looking for this pirate. Wanted. Now, underneath my wanted, where my portrait is, I need to write the name of my pirate. There's so many different ways to come up with a name for your pirate. If you go to my blog, you'll see I even created a little list for you to be able to come up with a name for your pirate. Me, I like to think of the name of my dog. My very first dog's name was Scrappy. And then the street that I live on, which is Morningside. So my pirate's name is Scrappy Morningside. Is that silly or what? Now I have to think of, what is my pirate wanted for? Well, maybe my pirate is like me and he doesn't clean his room very often. It's up to you. Think of something silly, not eating your vegetables, maybe not walking the dog. Poor Scrappy. Morning side. So think about that, because underneath here you could write what it is you're wanted for. Wanted, Scrappy Morningside for not feeding the dog. Now, what's the reward? I think I'm gonna ask for, maybe people are looking for me and willing to give let's see, 3 parrots. That's what I'm worth. That's all I'm worth. 3 parrots. What? So now you can hang your posters somewhere so people can see it. If you need more ideas, I've got some here. Let's see. This one is wanted. Rascal Tuna Toes. Also reward 3 parrots. It's a very popular reward, apparently. Wanted. Captain Stinky Breath. For not cleaning his room. Reward 3,000 gold coins. Oh, I cannot wait to see what your pirate portrait wanted poster looks like. Well, I hope everybody had an awesome time creating their pirate portrait wanted posters. That is a mouthful. Can you say all that?
No, but speaking of mouthful, I think I'd like to try some of those delicious artist.
No, once again, we're not eating the artist.
Fine, I just have to eat the art teacher then.
Oh my gosh, friends, send help. I hope you guys had so much fun today, and I'll talk to you real soon. Bye, guys.